Hi, this is John Carney, product engineer with Cadence, and this is a how-to video to generate fabrication and assembly data from OrCAD X. Under the manufacturing menu, choose Export to Manufacturing, and it will open up this form which is designed to allow you to generate all the different types of manufacturing and assembly data from your database in one shot. This form is broken down into different categories. For example, this first category for fabrication IPC 2581, you would check that if that's the type of data you want to send to your fabricator. And then for each subsection in the category, you can select it here, and then you can configure on the right that particular line item. So for example, for your IPC 2581, you can specify the version, output units, pin 1 orientation, etc. For fabrication drill view PDFs, you can configure the PDF that gets exported for your fabrication drill view. If in addition to IPC 2581, or if instead of IPC 2581 you wanted Gerber, you could check this box here, and then you're going to get both of these outputs, or you could just check the one and then only get the one output. This form is designed to allow you to generate all the different outputs you want. Typically, people want to have redundant views of data, for example. Under fabrication Gerber, out of the box, we give you all the typical Gerber layers that most people use: internal, external conductors, silkscreen, solder mask, etc. If you select one of these categories on the left, you can configure it to your needs in the panel on the right-hand side for each particular setting. If you need to configure or customize the artwork's layers, you can go to Configure Artwork Films, and this is where you can control what exactly gets exported when you check the external conductor box. You can add any particular classes and subclasses to this category, this category, this category, and you can specify that as well. Then you have your ODBC++. This of course requires you to install the ODBC inside driver, which is free. Then you have your assembly data. So you can generate assembly artwork, assembly view PDF files, assembly BOM reports, etc. And then you also just generate a variety of different reports: a summary report, unconnected pin reports. And then also, if you watch our video on LiveDoc, which allows you to create your fabrication and assembly drawings, checking this box will then go create a PDF of what you have generated in LiveDoc. Finally, you can configure your own category if you would like. So you can type in your own category here. You can hit plus. Now you have your own category, and then you'll get you this pull down here of different types of settings that you may want to include. So you may want to have another category with PDFs and maybe a test point report. That may be just a collection of data that you constantly want to assemble, so you can add that in here. And notice that this option exists already in all the other categories. So if under fabrication Gerber you wanted to add something else that gets added to that category, let's say you wanted a summary report, you could put a summary report in here, and now that summary report is going to be generated when you check this box. What's going to happen when you hit export is it's going to go through your design file, and it's going to generate all of the data that is checked and enabled in this form here. And then it's going to create a single file archive of all the exports so that you can give it to your fabricator. Once you go through this form and check and enable certain things, the export button is also going to save those settings into your local working folder, so that the next designs you run will always have these same settings. So you really only have to configure this once. Most of the time you're going to come in here, make sure that things are checked that you want, and just hit export, and then you're off to the races.